think I have to get out of the camera if you want to see the sunset behind me. You can see it's coloring my hair red. So cool. There you go. Look at that. Hello, replay people. Oh, the camera just doesn't do it justice. I'm gonna have to turn it around because you guys really need to see this beautiful sunset. There we go. That's just gorgeous. Hey, Rooster. I am having a tough time lately, actually. Tough time. I'm, I know, what a beautiful sunset, right? So tomorrow will be the first anniversary of the day that I lost my dog. I'm having a hard time with that. It is what it is. You're a sunrise. I take it. Sunrise, sunsets. I love them all. It was a beautiful sunrise this morning. I'm not so great in the mornings, though. I'm not a fan of mornings. Look how the sunset is hitting the... I don't know if you can see the windows on these buildings are lit up, like over there. Hi, Gary. I know. I don't want to be sad either. I had 16 amazing years with that dog. I'll never forget them. Anyway, there's something else weighing heavy on my mind. And there's our sunset back there. You can see. That is the knowledge that American taxpayers, Americans, we've been treated so badly. Hi, Samit. And learning about the extent of the fraud committed against us, it's stunning. We're having a lot of problems in our country with money because we've been robbed. Hi, George. I'm beyond angry about it. Can you imagine how wealthy we really are? Can you imagine what this country would be like if it weren't for fraudsters? Medical fraud, the daycare fraud, tax fraud, education fraud. How about all the ghost students getting FAFSA? I did FAFSA for my daughter when she went to college. More fraud that if you take care of somebody, the government will pay you. I took care of my husband for 3 years, and I asked for help, and I didn't get it. I got nothing. My husband passed away 3 years ago. So, sorry, my heart belongs to my husband. He might be no longer here on this earth. He is still my husband. So, is that Terry? Hi, Terry. Hey, ticked off Patriot. Good to see you too. Anyway, we should all be very angry. The American people have been taken advantage of so badly that Bonjour, Terry. That it's come to the point where our children and our grandchildren, their future doesn't look good. Hey, Luis. I'm pretty upset about it. I'm really upset about it. Just, can you imagine the money, the trillions of dollars that we're in debt, and it doesn't even need to be that way? Yeah, these are facts. And there's no Americans. You need to be ticked off about it. Yeah, Americans get called racist if we question anything. We have been tricked. We have been lied to, and not just about that, but even about the food that we eat. The food pyramid. What a scam, right? Put in place by the food companies to make us get sick, to make us eat the wrong things. Can you even with that? That's insane. Erica says my job was taken by a Mexican. I have a good friend. He wanted to get a job in, he wanted to be a garbage man. He wanted to do that. They wouldn't hire him because he's a white boy. Yeah. American debt, 35 trillion. World debt, 300 trillion. There's something wrong with that. Imagine if the money was fraudulent in Minnesota. What about their votes? If the money was fraudulent, it was. We know this. Yeah, we're told we have this white privilege. Yeah, the privilege to be taken advantage of nonstop, right? I'm told we deserve it because we're such bad people. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. It's not just the Somalians either. I heard there's a scam in New York perpetrated by Indians, not Native Americans, Indians from India. And how about every time you answer your phone and there's a scammer on the line trying to get one over on you, telling you you're going to be arrested for some tickets you got in a state you don't even live in anymore? How about that? How about every time we turn around, there's a scammer knocking on the door. Let me in. Let me in. I'd like to take everything. Sometimes, hi Danish, sometimes I go on this rabbit hole thing where I look at all the romance scam people. The stories about romance scammers, the older people who they just want love and they end up losing everything, millions of dollars. As soon as Trump goes out of office, goats will be allowed in New York City sex industry. No, TikTok patriot. Your name says it all. You're a patriot. I'm a patriot. We have to take care of this. This is in our hands now. Everything that's happening is because we were asleep at the wheel. Hello. Is that Gracie? Hi, Gracie. Everything that's happening right now is because we weren't paying attention. And especially letting COVID happen. I warned you. I didn't fall for it. People said I was crazy. People called me Typhoid Mary. It's so crazy. People want you to be afraid of everything. Let's just talk about the food, okay? Just the food alone. And that stupid food pyramid. Growing up in the 80s in America, thank you, Steve. We were told that we should eat, 5 to 7 servings of bread every day. Carbs. Yeah, I'm not coloring my hair Danish. I don't want to look like I'm in my 30s. I want to look like myself, okay? I don't really care. I'm not here to impress any of y'all. I have this hair, this color, because that's the color that it came out. Gracie says I was almost kicked out of my family because I wouldn't take a shot. Yeah. Yeah, people think it's okay to be rude to everybody these days, Patriot. It doesn't bother me. You show yourself when you're rude. That's on you, not on me. Anyway, I like my hair this color, actually. I think it's pretty cool. It used to be very dark brown, and now it's almost blonde. We can say blonde, right? Kind of looks blonde. I don't know. I don't hate it. No, I don't think you were trying to be rude, Danish. Thank you, James. Thank you. But I have no desire to try to look 30. I feel sorry for people who are 30. That's the age of my children. And it's very difficult to be a young person in this world today. I hear a weird noise. Cosmo, come here, what are you doing? Is it cookie time? Oh, it's cookie time. This is the little dog. He's got an itch. Cosmo. Oh. He's got something that's bothering him, like he's got an itchy spot. Poor little guy. I'm gonna put some cream on him when I'm done here. Anyway. Yes, life is difficult. Thank you very, very much, ticked off. Anyway, I'm not here to make you guys angry. I wanted to show you a beautiful sunset, which is just about over. This is the after party now. Yeah, go Pens. So I'm in Fort Lauderdale, and it's been in the low 70s all day, which is chilly for us. So I'm wearing my sweatshirt that I don't get to wear very often. Yeah, just glorious. Beautiful skies tonight. And over there is our cityscape in Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas Boulevard. You know, Danish, I like to be happy. I'm a happy person. I like to smile. I think it makes the world a better place. So we have a cold snap going on here in South Florida. Thank you, Snare. We got nice people on tonight. I do like that. Cosmo. Poor little Cosmo. Gonna have to do something to help him out. If you guys have anything you can tell me. I don't know. You know how when a dog gets like a hot spot? That's what he's got going on. Poor little guy. Anyway, I just wanted to check in tonight. I'm not doing any musical shows. I'm gonna stay in tonight. I've got a lot of work to do. I'm working on some new books, as I have been for the past few weeks. Always working on books. I am a journalist and a writer and a publisher and an author. So if there's anything that you guys want to talk about in particular, let me know. Oh, on Saturday, the Smokin' Renegades, the band that does Boston and Styx, they are going to be here, I guess in Fort Lauderdale, somewhere close, anyway, on Saturday. So let me know if you guys want me to take you to that concert. Give me the high sign. I think they're so much fun. So let me know what you guys want to do. Sorry, I'm not my super happy jumping around, dancing and singing self. For those of you who are just coming on, it's the tomorrow's the anniversary of losing my little dog Muffin. So I'm having kind of a hard time with that. It's also my sister's birthday. I don't know if we're gonna do anything for her birthday, but let's see what the sunset looks like now. Ooh. So I'm gonna get that book published in the next month. Custom. I can do it faster and faster now. And I'm working on like 4 books at once, so there's that. But so the book that I'm working on now, thank you for asking, Danish, is called 7 Years in Switzerland. And it is the sequel to my book called Do You Think About Me on My Birthday? So it is a memoir about my life. And I lived in Switzerland for 10 years, not 7 years, but I call it 7 years in Switzerland. I came up with that title when I lived in Switzerland for 7 years. I think 7 years was how long it took me to get citizenship. I did become a Swiss citizen in, I think it was 1996 or 97. Can't really remember. Seems like so long ago. Anyway, it's about a lot of things. It's about identity, very much so. I was born and raised in the United States, and when I was a teenager, my biological father, I was adopted, stalked me, and really kind of made a nuisance of himself. And I got to the point where I wanted to run away from all these people, all these parents. They were all after me. So I ran away to Switzerland. What a place to run away to, right? But I had met a man, and I fell in love, and I got married in Switzerland, and my children were born in Switzerland, and a lot of crazy stuff happened in Switzerland. It was very interesting to live in Switzerland for those 7 years, for 10 years actually. I moved there in 1990. Well, 1990 was when I went there the first time, and I actually got married in 1992, and my daughter was born in 1993, and I had a son in 1996. But I learned a lot from living in Switzerland and being an actual immigrant myself. So I know a lot about immigration, and 7 years in Switzerland is about immigration, but it is also about the food situation. Yeah, it's about Swiss people too. Okay. Yes, they do. They give you dirty looks. They are not the nicest people in the world. So I will be writing the truth about Swiss people. I'm not going to hold back either. I know, right, Danish? You would be surprised at how many people do not like me. I mean, you see the haters who come on my show. They're everywhere. You know, a lot of people actually, they don't like happy people. That's like a real thing that people will hate you for making life look too easy. And I know that's what I do. I make it look easy. I make it look fun. Because to me, life is fun. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But I just happen to be in love with being alive. That's funny. Wes writes, I just happen to be part Swiss, and on behalf of all Switzerland folks, I apologize for any dirty looks they may have given you while you were there. You know what? Actually, it's so funny that you say that, Wes, because I learned when I lived in Switzerland that there are two types of Swiss. There are the Swiss, they hate everybody. They literally hate everybody. They hate their neighbors. They're not neutral at all. They hate everyone. Like the people who live in Basel hate the people who live in Zurich, and the people in Zurich, they hate the people who live in Bern, and the people in Geneva, they hate absolutely everyone and wish that they lived in France. So it's pretty funny. But anyway, so yeah, there's two types. There's the people who hate everyone. They hate the people in the next village, okay? They just hate everybody. They are wait, what's the word? Ethnocentric or something like, I don't know. I know there's a word for it. Agoraphobic. I don't know. There's this word for people who just hate strangers. Hate everybody they don't know. And even the people they know, they hate them too. So anyway, there's those twists. And then the other kind of Swiss are just like Wes, who apologize to the foreigners for the Swiss who act that way. So yes, two kinds. Super nice. There's super nice Swiss, and then there's the ones they hate everybody. Bern was beautiful, terrible pizza. You're right. And terrible pizza. Also, you know what else is terrible in Switzerland? The candy. They don't know how to do candy. Like, it's awful. Chocolate, okay, they are the masters when it comes to chocolate. But actual candy, like, oh, what's my favorite candy? Well, I love candy corn. Everybody knows that. There's no candy corn in Switzerland. What's another one I like? I like circus peanuts. I know that's when people are like, oh, but I love them. They don't have those in Switzerland either. Yeah. Yeah, Bern is it's so beautiful. Switzerland is so beautiful. And thank you for commenting on my teeth. They look good, but they're going downhill fast. I've lost 3 of my teeth. It's not a good scene. So, yeah, enjoy them. Yeah, well, they're still there. They have salty black licorice. Oh, I don't like their black licorice. I don't like anise, and they're all about anise. In Basel, where I lived, they have this cookie that is famous there. It's called Lackerli. Everybody loves it so much, and it tastes like licorice. It is actually pretty good. Like, I developed a taste for Lackerli after a while. Even the chocolate on their McDonald's ice cream was amazing. McDonald's is amazing in Switzerland, actually, because they have rules about food, and the food is good, and the McDonald's was good, and I liked it. And I used to take my kids to McDonald's because it was healthy over there. It wasn't like living here in America. Yes, I completely believe in Jesus as my Lord and Savior, 100%. Raised Jewish, but that's another lie that I did not buy into. I learned about Jesus, and I'm pretty angry about that one too, being told that he was nothing. But I did always love him. And then I accepted him. So that's the book I'm working on right now, is 7 years in Switzerland. And it's a very it's a coming of age book, kind of just like Do You Think About Me on My Birthday? It was a coming of age book. But in that book, I went from teenager to kind of adult. In 7 years in Switzerland, I go from kind of an adult to a mother, and learn to be, so I'm gonna get rid of this one person. There are people in this world, I don't really want to talk about this, but, and I'm reporting this person right now. Hi, Nicole. Oh, Nicole, you reminded me something else I wanted to talk about. But people who come on this show and treat me like I am some kind of a sex object, I don't like it, and I would appreciate if you would go elsewhere if you want a woman like that. I'm not that kind of person. So Charlie Chaplin house. No, I didn't go to the Charlie Chaplin house. I don't even know where it is. Although I did used to live right across the street, if you will. It wasn't a street, there was a very big field, kind of. In the next village. I lived in the village of Mariestein, if you know Switzerland. You probably never heard of that village. But anyway, it was right across from this little village called Roshens. Was it Roshens? Or I'm losing. It's been a while. It's been a while. But where LSD was invented was like right across the way. That was the house that I got to see. Oh, thank you, Nicole. So I did want to talk about my book that I wrote already. Do you think about me on my birthday? So Nicole went to my website. Please go to my website, jillbooks.com. And she said that she thought that my book was too expensive. And for $40, you get a signed copy. My book actually costs $35. But if you want it signed, and most people do, then I'm adding a $5 surcharge because, hey, I can. But I wanted to talk to you guys about that. It is very difficult to sell books, okay? As an author and a journalist, I'm lucky because I know how to talk to people. Usually writers, we're not very social. We don't like to get in front of the camera. We don't like to promote ourselves at all. And so I have to promote myself because I am my own sponsor. And you know all the shows that are on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook or whatever, they're all sponsored by someone, right? Well, I'm over here sponsoring myself. And I have to charge that much for my book because I don't really make very much money. I don't know. It's like if I sell it super cheap, will more people buy it? I'm asking you guys seriously because I don't really know what to do about that because nobody's buying my books right now, and I'm not sure why. Gob says I wrote an educational book. It took me years. It was a hard lesson to learn that writing. It was only half of it at marketing. It is a whole other behemoth. Yes, exactly. It is. It's really hard. It's one thing to write and publish a book, and most people don't do all of this by themselves, but I did. $15. Wow, Nicole. If I charge $15 for my book, I not only don't make money, but I'm in the hole because it costs more than that just to print and to send the book. So $15 is like, it's kind of, yeah, I can't do it. I can't, I'm not giving it away. I'm not, spending all this money. It costs me money to print the book out, and that book is 365 pages long. So it's a pretty big book. And I know, Nicole, I get it. It's people don't really think about the value of things because, see, there was a store you might shop at it sometimes. It's called Walmart. Walmart came into our country and got us all to value cheap and got us all to think that everything should be cheap. Thank you so much, Long. It is a great way to sync memories once again in that 7-year period, but how can you deal with bad memories in that period? Thank you so much. I so appreciate your gifts. You have no idea. It means a lot to me. Especially because, and long-haired. We are kindred. Anyway, you're the best. But it is really hard to be a writer, a journalist, an author, all that stuff. I don't get paid very much. And I think that if you're a journalist and you're getting paid a lot of money to be a journalist, you might actually be doing it wrong. You don't go into journalism in order to get rich. Famous, maybe. Rich, not so much. Everything I write, it's, aren't rich in life until you have something money can't buy. Well, Nicole, I am very wealthy when it comes to that. I'm probably one of the wealthiest people I know in experiences and just, I have a wonderful life, and I appreciate absolutely everything I have. And I'm also very lucky to be alive, because I started out my life as one of the most hated, reviled people in the world. The unwanted pregnancy, the surprise baby. And, people will kill you for that. My father wanted to kill me. And I found out, because of him, he stalked me later. First he wanted to kill me, then he wanted to stalk me. And then I found out that really it was because of my mother that I have this wonderful life. Because she was selfless, and she knew that if she didn't give me up for adoption, that this man would try to ruin my life. He wanted to put me in a cult, actually. I'm not looking at the beach, actually. I am looking at, ooh, look at that sunset. It's really pretty now. This is actually facing the Everglades. It's kind of, it's still beachy, but this is all Fort Lauderdale that you're looking at. You're not really looking at the Everglades, but that's what's over there. Oh, and look at the moon. Wow. That is pretty cool. I'm not going to any concert thing today, Nicole. I'm a little concert out. And I have to work. I have a lot of writing to do. Oh, Anthony. Yeah, Anthony is at Oviedo. I can't really say that. I've never been down there, and one of the reasons too is because I don't like to drive in the dark, because I'm an old lady, and we old ladies, we don't do well driving in the dark, so I don't like to go down there. It's a little bit far for me in Hollywood, and I live in Fort Lauderdale, so. But maybe someday, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Anthony will have to pick me up. Anyway, I just need to have a night where I work and do my thing. I can't go out every night. I don't drive in the dark anymore either at 60. Yeah, it's like you hit a certain age, and I'm going to say that certain age is probably like 50, and you don't want to go out late at night anymore. You don't want to drive in the dark. It's just not safe. So anyway, talking about my book, and all the work that went into it. Do you think about me on my birthday? I actually worked on for 40 years. Yeah, took me 40 years to write that thing. So anyway, a lot goes into publishing a book, and not just the writing of it, but you have to design the book cover. My first book is called Like It Was Yesterday, A Journalist's Files Since 9/11. And please check my books out on my website, Jill Books, JILLBOOKS, is JillWritesBooks.com. And my first book is about the way 9/11 changed our society. I started writing that book on 9/11. My brother is a survivor of 9/11. And so the book starts out with me looking for him on 9/11 in a diary. And then it goes 15 years into the future. No, actually, it's more like 10 years, but I wrote it so it would come out on the 15th anniversary of 9/11, which was really interesting because that was the same day that they opened up the 9/11 memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the fourth plane went down in a field. Everybody knows about the planes going into the World Trade Center, and the plane that went into the Pentagon, but I think after 25 years, people have maybe forgotten about the plane that went into a field in Pennsylvania. Bye, Nicole. So yeah, that book is more expensive. My book about 9/11 is cheaper. It's $30. And I always want to, I sign all the books that I send out. So I don't oh, here, because Nicole, the last time you were a mod, your you started kicking off everybody the other day. So I had to unmod you. I don't know what happened there, but here, you can have your mod privileges back. Just don't start kicking people off again. Yes, I try to make my brain work so that I know everybody's name. If you guys tell me what your real name is, I try real hard to remember it because we all become friends here on the Beach Report. It's important that I speak with my friends. And the Beach Report is kind of not even just friends, but we're family. It's my Beach Report family. You know, as an adopted child, we're always kind of looking for families. It's what we do. I know. I'm glad you're here, Nicole. Oh, Wes is your real name. Cool. Well, I'm glad you're here. I hope you have subscribed. I know, the moon, right? The moon, the moon. Ah, the moon. What is it really, the moon? What is anything really? The world, it's a great big lie that we live in right now. I don't know what to think anymore. It's a giant floating ball. I understand that it is actually hollow. The moon is hollow and not made of blue cheese. Wow, this sunset is really looking beautiful. Your grandpa's name was Wes? Was it just Wes, or was it Wesley or Weston or something attached to that Wes? It's cheese. So did you ever hear the story about NASA scientists crashed something into the moon to see what would happen? And they say that the moon rang like a bell. Isn't that interesting? You gotta wonder. You gotta wonder about absolutely everything now. Finding out absolutely everything is a lie. And who knows what the truth is anymore? Except, I'll tell you this. I'm a real person. I don't know how many of you are real people, but I know that many of you are. It's starting to get pretty dark here. Anyway, it's fun talking about my book. It makes me want to go work on it. 7 Years in Switzerland, which is the sequel to Do You Think About Me on My Birthday. I don't know if I told you. So the first book was about 9/11. The second book was my memoir about being adopted and then being stalked by my biological father. He showed up when I was in college. Just showed up. Lied about who he was. It's a fun book. No, it really is a fun book. It's also, yeah, rang for over 30 minutes. Michael knows. Hi, Gretchen. The shadow knows. I said Michael knows, and then I see Gretchen says the shadow knows. I swear, you guys, we're on the same wavelength. And there's Reiner. Reiner's always giving us pictures. How you doing, Reiner? Anyway, so yeah, my first book was about 9/11. My second book about my adoption and being stalked by my biological father. And then now my third book is the sequel to that. So 7 Years in Switzerland. And then I'm also writing a book about my husband, tentatively titled My Life in the Everglades by Ray Becerra. That's what Ray wanted it to be called, My Life in the Everglades. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that as the title. Hey, Two Stroke, how you doing? Yeah, beautiful location tonight, right? So gorgeous. We're having the sunset after party. Yeah, 7 years in Switzerland. A big what? EQ? What's an EQ? Enlighten me, Wes. What is it, Cosmo? Cosmo wants his cookie. Cookie time's at 6 and it's 6:27. I swear dogs know how to tell time, except the time isn't real. So yeah, I wanted to ask you guys if you could help me figure out what price my book should be, but it can't be $15 because again, I would not make any money. And then it's like I wrote it for nothing. Just giving it away. Just pay for shipping and printing. Guys, thank you for joining, everyone. It means so much to Jill, and we hope you enjoy the sunset today. Feel free to ask respectful questions and send gifts. Thanks, guys. Yes, we love the gifts. Always send gifts. Oh, earthquake. Yeah. Oh, hi, Danny. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's always going to be something to scare you. $29.95. Okay, well, that is, I think that's how much my first book, like it was yesterday, costs. $39.95. I can go with that. That is how much it costs. Moto, thank you. I mean, you know, AI didn't write my book. I want to do ebook too. I don't know how. I know I can. It shouldn't be that hard. I have to figure that out. I appreciate it, Nicole. Everything helps. And you know what? I love my most devoted followers who are on every show. I like that you guys take the initiative and ask people to like and subscribe and let them know the rules. I think it's super helpful. I think it's wonderful. You guys are all involved. The beach report isn't just about me. Wes says I got paralyzed from the neck down years ago. I died 5 times since then. And the year after I got paralyzed, I made 5 attempts on my own life. My gosh, Wes, God brought me back to life every time. Okay, well, we know you have a book in you. You need to write a book, Wes. That's incredible. What kind of a survivor are you? I mean, 5 times? I can't even with that story. I don't know what to think. But I'm glad you're here. Is there anybody out there watching right now who is adopted? I know I've got some adopted people. Two Stroke, were you adopted? I know there's somebody on, at least one of you. Dwight, I don't think anybody would say that if it wasn't the truth. I'm going to believe Wes. I'm only here by the grace of God. Wes is telling it in the way that I think he would tell it if that was true. I don't know who would say that if it wasn't true. I mean, maybe I'm being naive, but that's a lot. What's your secret, Wes? What did you learn when you almost died? You know, did you have a near-death experience? There's a movie called Miracles from Heaven. Oh, I think I heard of that movie. I never saw it, though. I'm not very good at watching movies. I watch the beginning, and I fall asleep, and then I watch the end. That's how it usually goes for me. I'm not fun to take to the movies. I'm going to fall asleep for sure. And I think the reason that I fall asleep at the movies is because I don't sit down very often. And when I do, it's pretty much I'm tired. And then I'm just going to fall asleep. Well, Dwight, I don't blame you for being cynical, these days especially. I know, right, Johnny? So beautiful tonight. Gorgeous over Fort Lauderdale. So you guys have asked some really good questions tonight. Is there anything else? Should I go work on my book now? You have anything else you want to talk about before I go? You can see I'm procrastinating. This is what writers do. We procrastinate. But the thing about writing is then you get down to it and you can't stop. Wes says, me and my sister were adopted as well. Okay, our biological dad was alcoholic for 35 years. He is now 15 years sober. My mom got divorced when I was 3 and remarried, and he's an amazing dad and father. Oh, that's wonderful, Wes. I mean, yeah, that's a good story. You know, I've just learned something that's really disturbing me, Wes, and I wonder what you think about this too. But did you know that there are a lot of adoptees out there who literally wish that they were never born? Oh, Danny, I can help you start your book. No worries. We got this. Is it a memoir? But anyway, about the adoptees, I found this. There's this guy, he's got a YouTube and a Facebook page, and it's called Adoption Connor. Like, at first I thought it was Adoption Corner, but it's Adoption Connor. And boy, his stuff is, whoo! He makes it sound like every child adopted is being set up for a horrible life, and the mothers who give up their babies, their lives are going to be horrible, and you might as well have an abortion. It is crazy. About over 30 years as a cop. Well, Danny, here's some advice for you. In writing your book, you have to look at it like this is how I look at it anyway, like an unmade bed. So you've got you've got the bed, you know, and the mattress on the frame and everything, and then you've got, you know, the things that you're going to put on your bed, the sheets, the fitted sheet, the top sheet, the blankets, the pillows, the whole thing. But you know, you got to start somewhere. So you have to start to make the bed. I look at books like that. Well, where do you start? Usually with the bottom, like the foundation of your story. There's 2 different things you can do with that. You can start with a mundane point of view or a turning point of view. So you were a cop, so you might start your book with one of the most craziest cop stories you have. Get the reader involved right away. Know that this is going to be a really interesting book. And you start it with, you know, I'm running down the street after this perp, and the next thing I know, he turns around and it's actually a gorilla. I'm making this up, but you know what I mean. Something crazy. Or you can also start it with something mundane, like being on the beat for 30 years. It's got to be boring. There's times where you don't see anything, and you start to kind of get into the story by telling your regular workaday life as a cop, being on the beat, and then one day, and then you go into it. Does that help? Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you. Wes says, yes, I can only imagine. It's by the grace of God I was able to completely forgive my biological dad when I was 12. Last time I saw him was in 1986. In 2016, he messaged my mom on Facebook. Your bio mom or your adoptive mom? My mom took down his number, I guess your adopted mom, and told me and my sister, and we called him and talked to him for an hour and a half that first time. God reconciled me and my sister with our biological dad after 30 years. That's a great story. You need to tell it. Seriously. So with a story like that, I would probably start with that phone call. That's a turning point. Beginning of a book. I always use the make a bed analogy. You know, you get the foundation. A lot of times too, you start with the beginning, but you know where your ending is too. And same with your bed. You know how to start making the bed, and you know what you want it to look like in the very end. Then you have to fill in the middle, putting on the top sheet, putting on the blanket, putting on the pillows. Those are your chapters. You fill them in. What part of that is crazy, Gary? Are you not able to read and write? Anyway, it's usually when someone comes on and calls me crazy that I feel like leaving. So maybe time to get back to work. I think it's evident that I can buy the message I sent you. I don't know what that means. But yes, you can pay for messages. If you put in a super chat, I'll definitely answer you no matter what crazy thing you say. So there's that. Just putting it out there. Yes, night is falling. That sounds like a song. Night is falling and I am calling. Dance with me. Dance with me. I want to be your partner, can't you see? I can't find the right pitch on that. The music is just, night is falling. Yeah, we're looking at the sunset that just ended. We like sunsets here on the Beach Report, and we were talking about writing and stuff like that, Gary. So you missed most of the show. If you come in and say that it's crazy, it's kind of rude because you haven't even been here. And you didn't see this amazing sunset. It was absolutely beautiful tonight. But now the sunset's over, and I am getting ready to go back to work because I'm working on some new books. And people were talking about writing. Oh, maybe Gary. Oh, Gary was referring to Wes's story is crazy. But I wouldn't say that your story is cray-cray because that's kind of rude, you know? It's a crazy story, but it's an interesting story and it's your life. So it's not nice to put down other people's lives. We are in Fort Lauderdale tonight with the Fort Lauderdale skyline behind us. Thank you, Reiner. All right, you guys. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them about writing. Cleveland loves me. You know, I went to college in Ohio, right? I went to Athens, Ohio University. Everyone in Ohio knows that school. No, I'm not going to a bar. You know, you asked that, Mike, like I go to bars. I don't go to bars. I go to concerts. I don't even drink, so I'm not going to a bar to go to drinking. I go for music because I love really good music, and so do you. Is it true that some parts of Florida got some snow recently? Yes, that is true, but that's north, and I live in South Florida, and we very rarely ever get snow. I know we've gotten snow in Miami a couple times, but I've never seen it. Danny says, I had to be a bodyguard for a famous writer. Guess who? Ooh, who? This is interesting. What famous writer needs a bodyguard? Maybe, would it be, oh, what's her name who wrote, Harry Potter? Was it the Harry Potter lady? I can't remember her name right now. And no, the concerts are not always at bars, Mike. For instance, the Sunday concert is always in the street. That's called a block party. I love Fort Myers too. And thank God Fort Myers is recovered from the horrible hurricane. And I lost my husband in that hurricane, the day after that hurricane. He had cancer. He didn't die from the hurricane, but boy, we went through the hurricane, that's for sure. It was crazy. There's a good live music venue there called the Elbow Room. Oh, no. You know, Mike, it's funny you should say that. I do know at least one musician who plays at the Elbow Room, but I don't go to the Elbow Room hardly ever. It's a really gross bar. like that is That is so bar. Ugh, it's such a bar. It's um it's a bar full of drunk people. I don't really like that. John Grisham. Wow. Ooh, John Grisham is great, Danny. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Okay, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Let's get that straight. I don't just go to bars. I do go for the music. But yeah, the Elbow Room is a pretty down and dirty bar. Actually, you don't want to go into the bathroom at the Elbow Room. It's really disgusting. But it is like it's history, the Elbow Room. So maybe everyone who lives in Fort Lauderdale should go there at least once. Oh, thank you, Wes. I miss my husband, and I don't know if you guys, if you're just coming on, that I lost my little dog a year ago tomorrow, so I'm dealing with that. I'm in a little sadness mood because of that. So yes, support live music. Big Frank, that is one of the most important things, I think, is to support live music. We don't have enough of it, but here in South Florida, we have the best live music. And I also love to do the shows with the live music because I want you guys to see people having fun. I think it's good for us as humans to see people dancing and smiling, and especially people who are older having this much fun. I know the young people always make fun of us, but you only wish that when you get to be our age that you're having as much fun as we are. Mike says, I'm sure that plenty of live music venues you've been to are in bars. Yes, many of them are in bars. It's true. It just kind of goes together. But some of them are outdoor venues. Some of them are on the beach. Some of them are in the street. So I get to go to different places to hear the live music. But yeah, but thank you. I don't go to bars to go to bars. And I'm not looking for anything but fun live music. We do. We need to laugh a lot. We need to smile. We need to dance. We need to sing. We need to have fun. Thank you, Big Frank. I feel those hugs. Yeah, we need to be kinder to each other. We need to have fun together. So that's why I do the live music shows, because I want us to have fun. I want us to feel the happiness that everybody feels when they're dancing and singing. Thank you, Phil. Wes says, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that, my sweet friend. What was your dog's name? My family lost our oldest dog on November 21st, 2023. His name was Bongos. Him and my sister are now in heaven. So my dog was Muffin. And Muffin and my husband are now in heaven together. And oh, my daughter sent me a picture the other day that our aunt sent her. Picture of our grandmother, my daughter's great grandmother, holding Muffin. And I'm like, they're all together now. I've got a lot of love waiting for me in heaven, so I'm certainly not afraid to die. I'm sorry about losing your sister, Wes. I think losing a sibling is, I'm sorry, I'm getting verklempt here. Losing a sibling has just got to be a nightmare. I can't even imagine how that would feel. I know, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. And one of my sisters is actually a natural sister, and I haven't seen her in a long time. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. It's like now my friends come on. Yeah, I was just getting ready to leave. I was showing everybody this amazing sunset. That it's not a sunset anymore. Now it's nighttime. But it is very beautiful. Let me show you the cityscape. Because that's another thing that I like you guys to see on the beach report that's very important to me is beauty. I like to show you the beauty of nature, the beauty of a sunset, the beauty of a smile. Danny says, I never got to meet my sister. She passed before I was born. You know, Danny, I actually had a sister, and she passed before she was born. So I almost forgot about that. She was my 3rd sister. And I named my daughter after her. But I never got to meet her because she died. She was stillborn. And yes, we will see everybody in heaven. That's why you should never be afraid to die. I think that that's probably the best place we can ever go. Not that you want to die. I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid of it. Everyone I love is there. So, wow. Anyway, a little melancholy evening we have here, but I feel the love from you guys and support. And like I said, we are all in this together. You are part of the Beach Report family, especially you adopted people. We are one family. And your story was amazing, Wes. My goodness. Thank you. Again, if you are interested in my books, please check out my website, which still needs work, but the books are there. It's called Jill Books, JILLBOOKS.com. Again, I sponsor myself. I don't have any other sponsors, and I don't sell any products that I didn't make all by myself. Do you have an email address that I could get to send you part of my story? Yes, absolutely. So again, with my I guess the easy one is info@jillbooks.com. Just send it there, Wes, and I'll get it. Um, do you want to publish your story? If you do, I can help you. So I think it's very important that we write our life stories. Whether we publish them for everybody or we just keep them for our own families and for posterity for the future. We all have a story to tell. All right, you guys, speaking of stories to tell, I've got a book to write. And I will see you on my next beach report. And Rachel, you got to publish your poems. I know you told me. Roger, I used to live in Pittsburgh. I live in Florida now, but yes, Pittsburgh girl. You can take the girl out of Pittsburgh. Can you take the Pittsburgh out of the girl? Well, I don't have a Pittsburgh accent, so there's that. But yeah. Yeah, wearing my Pittsburgh sweatshirt, but those were days. I will help you, Rachel. You know I will. All right, you guys. Any other questions before I go? Reminds me of when my mother was alive and we would talk on the phone and it would sound like she was going to let me get off the phone and then we'd start talking more and more. No, Fort Lauderdale, Roger. Gretchen says good. Sorry about that. Oh, my sister just called me. That makes my feed go crash. Anyway, I better go call that girl. It's her birthday tomorrow. Okay. All right, Rachel, take your time. You're working on God's time, not yours. So, but also do it. Wow, that was really rude, John. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's really rude. All right, I'm gonna say goodnight. Ciao for now. See you on tomorrow's Beach Report. Have a wonderful evening.